This news update is brought to you by...
Say hello to Shanta. Shanta is an entertainer, but she also loves to be entertained, which is why she has Flow TV brought to her through Flow's 100% fiber to the home network. It's great for busy Shanta because she can control the time she watches her favorite shows, play back from the start in case she missed it, or even record with cloud video recording. And with her Flow services bundle, enjoys much more for much less. Visit any Flow retail outlet, call 1-800-804-2994, or visit discoverflow.co to find out more. One-of-a-kind connection. This is how we flow.
It's Tuesday, March 15, and time for the Barbados Today Evening Update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. We begin with a strong word of warning that more public sector workers may have to go home. The warning from former Prime Minister Wayne Arthur during his contribution to the estimates debate, who said Barbados' economy remains in intensive care and in a very delicate situation in terms of growth. Warning that some unpopular decisions will have to be made, he said the time had come for restructuring of a number of public enterprises.
There's no way in which we're going to get out of this unless you're privatization. There's no way in which we're going to get out of this by rationalizing the relationships between state enterprises. Some may have to be amalgamated, some may have to be abolished, but it must be addressed. And all I'm asking the government to do is that if you're dealing with it, let there be some balm in Gilead. There must be balm in Gilead. And that you just can't privatize and send home people, but there's a lot that can be done to carry out that program while converting a negative into a positive. And what am I saying? So that the government has to address the issues of state enterprises, sir. That I feel the first thing you should do is that you should make a database of the people who are going home and their skills. And some should be afforded access to resources for retraining. The government should use that database to arrange for those people who are going home and may have to go home because the government has to do the right thing.
He warned the government to proceed cautiously on a number of projects, including the proposed 500 million sugar restructuring, the 800 million waste-to-energy project, as well as Sam Lord's Castle, the proposed marina in Bridgetown, and the cruise pier, which is said could wind up being additional burdens on the public purse. Arthur also warned the central bank to stop printing money, calling this an act of vandalism and suggesting that it puts the stability of the Barbados dollar in peril.
They're not seeking to cause a panic, but our foreign exchange reserves have fallen by $500 million over the course of the last few years. This is not the time for the Central Bank of Barbados to be printing money to finance a government's deficit. It can't be. And therefore, it is a distress to me to hear and read the Central Bank that during the first 3 quarters of the financial year, the central bank recycled $238 million of commercial bank deposits on deposit reserve on deposit. What the central bank did, took in deposits from the commercial banks that they were not in a position to lend the government and said we can buy government treasury bills. So it recycled commercial bank deposits.
He also warned that the country's foreign reserve have fallen by $500 million since 2009 and were headed in the wrong direction, and that the current deficit position was worse than the worst-case scenario that was envisaged under the island's medium-term development strategy. HIV/AIDS patients in Barbados will soon have easier access to health care. Today, Health Minister John Boyce announced in Parliament that HIV care is to become part of a public health care at polyclinics. He said this was an important step for the island, which has already eliminated mother-to-child transmission.
We will make sure that we continue to eat away at those existing debts, and that as soon as we are able to release those funds, which the Minister of Finance has made very clear, are to be released to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in the order of $24 million to essentially liquidate the debts to our suppliers at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. In the meantime, the administration of the hospital has worked out a supply arrangement with these providers, which will see
Opposition MP for St. Thomas, Cynthia Ford, says there are too many pedophiles roaming freely in the country. In her contribution to the estimates debate, she made reference to recent videos making the rounds on social media, allegedly involving girls who had gone missing. Ford raised concerns that too many of the island's children are wandering and being taken advantage of by adults, and called for an effective system to bring these perpetrators to justice.
Too many of our children are wandering. I don't want to talk about some videos I saw that people have accused these young people of being engaged in. But I know that it is happening, and there are some hardback men who are taking advantage of our young children. Too many pedophiles are in this country walking scot-free because they're somebody. They have a business. They are known by the minister, the police, and their friends. All kinds of nonsense. And our children are falling through the cracks. When children are scarred through rape, molestation, abuse in whatever form, it lasts with them forever. And it is not only males, there are some females who have boyfriends 14 and 15 years. Something has to be done, Mr. Speaker, and I want the justice system to be able to be as effective as possible. The wheels of justice must turn, and perpetrators must be brought to justice.
In sports, World Cup T20 host India wilted to a 47-run defeat against New Zealand in their Super 10s opener at a shell-shock night per today. MS Dhoni's men failed to deal with the Black Caps' spin attack as they crumbled to 79 all out in pursuit of their opponents' seemingly under-par 126 for 7, with MS Dhoni making 30, Virat Kohli 23 and Ravichandran Ashwin 10. The only men to make double figures in India's second lowest T20 international total in history. New Zealand are next in action against Australia on Friday, while India must lick their wounds before a Saturday showdown with Pakistan, the side they beat to lift the inaugural World T20 title in 2007. West Indies open their World Cup campaign against England tomorrow.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Get your paper. Only $2.25. $2.20. Who? For what? That's the Bear Stare News. I don't read about that from Barbados today since last night. That can't only care do. $2.20. Who?
Barbados Today. News you can trust.
Regionally, investigations are underway in the Bahamas into allegations of a murder-to-hire plot. The situation was highlighted in a Tribune article last week, and the country's top cop says he's taking no chances.
I decided, based upon the fact that names were called in the newspapers and in other places, to have the detectives go and see the Right Honourable Prime Minister, Mr. Perry Christie, to see the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister, Ms. Brave Davis, certainly to see Mr. Code Smith, Reverend Dr. C.B. Moss, and any number of other names of people whose names are called in open source documents, to go and see them to seek to determine if there is anything of a criminal nature that we as a police department should be pursuing. I wish to also indicate that the Right Honourable Prime Minister has spoken directly to our lead detective to indicate his level of discontent.
Further afield, a manhunt is on in Belgium for at least 2 men allegedly linked to last year's attacks in Paris. Belgium security forces and French police are searching for the men after shots were fired at police and they escaped over rooftops during a counter-terrorism raid in Brussels. 4 officers, all said to be Belgian nationals, were injured. Streets in the suburb of Forest have been sealed off. And that's news and sports. But for the very latest, visit our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. Also, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Isomay Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV or Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Frenella Wedderburn. Good evening.